Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this one, we are going to start working on Microsoft Learning AZ400 series labs from GitHub. And I'm going to give you this link so that you can follow it better. And let's see if they have a handbook and stuff where you can download zip file, tar file. I'm not going to use that. So I think all I'm going to use from here are the instructions. And if you go to under instructions, then lab, validate lab environment, this I'm going to skip. I'm just going to start from the Azure Agile planning and portfolio management. Now in this lab, this is the module 1, planning for Devops. In this one, what we're going to learn, we can learn about the Agile planning and portfolio management tools and processes provided by Azure boards, and how they can help to quickly plan, manage and track project works across entire team. So if you have any experience with any kind of Scrum or Agile method, you probably know a little bit about product backlog, sprint planning, sprint backlog, task boards, capacity planning, sprint meeting. All of that we will be able to get some experience. So in this particular lab, our main objectives are to manage teams, areas and iterations, manage work items, manage sprints and capacity, customize Kanban boards, and this is really important. Kanban boards are hugely successful and widely used tool for software development. Then define dashboards, and finally customize team processes. This lab is going to take about 60 minutes to complete. So I don't need a virtual machine, so this is I'm gonna skip because I'm gonna use my desktop. This is a Ubuntu 20.04 that I'm using, so I'm gonna keep using that one. And but you do need to create Azure Devops organization. So to do that, if you have not done so, you just need to go to Azure Devops. Let me open this in another window. So this is the process that you need to follow. Create an organization or project collection, and here you have a detailed description how you do that. But pretty much you sign into Azure Devops. Okay, let's just do that again. And then you select a new organization. Okay, so if you come over here and you would click a new organization. Now if you see, I have 2 organizations here already. I'm actually going to show you how to delete one first and then start working on it. So this is the one that I want to delete. So I'm going to come down to this project setting, and at the very end I have a delete button, and I'm going to click on delete. Now it says, hey, if you want to delete, copy the project name completely. So I'm just going to copy all of it and Control V, and then we can delete. Hit delete. So now it's going to delete this. So again, so remember that you gotta go to a different, it's not a portal.azure.com. you gotta go to dev.azure.com. Once you are there, then you can log in to your Azure DevOps. Okay, so you know that. So once you're here, you create a new organization. As I said, you click that one, and you confirm information, and then you just hit select continue. Okay, and that's about it. So here, if I wanted to create any organization, let me refresh this one first, because we deleted one. So if I want to create new organization, it's still showing here, although it's gone from here. I just need to create a new organization and then go from here. So let's just go back to the lab and just start from the task 1. Okay, so what we really want to do, if you create a new project, like I already have one, let me go back. Just type again Azure DevOps. You click there, and it will take you to the Azure DevOps. So when you first time you come in here, you sign in, but to get to that view you need to click on this particular link down here, sign into Azure DevOps. Okay, so click on that one, and that one should take you to your Azure DevOps. Okay, so over here, if you create a new project, okay, this project is really empty, there is nothing there. Okay, so you can create boards, you can create repos, pipeline, test plan, artifacts, but there is nothing in there. So if you go in there, it's all empty. So in this lab, what we are going to do, Microsoft has created something called Azure DevOps demo generator, and in this demo generator there are a whole bunch of different templates that you can use and create an organization, and it will give you a lot of pre-populated items that you can quickly start using to be familiar with different aspects of Azure DevOps. So let's just sign in to Azure DevOps demo generator. So here we're going to provide some parameters here, and what they want us to do in this lab is to use the parts unlimited template to create a demo project for us. So what we will do, we are going to, let's see if it lets me create this one again. So I'm going to copy this one, the project name, I'm going to put this, an organization, I'm just going to put it under, say, cloud security training. Okay, and select template. Let's just wait for a second. Now choose template, and you see there are a whole bunch of different templates. Parts unlimited is the one that we want, but say you are working on a different type of project. Okay, so maybe you are working on a cloud adoption framework. Okay, so you can do the cloud adoption plan, then cloud adoption strategy, server migration, Windows virtual desktop, SQL migration. So different project, they have some sample template. Even for Azure governance readiness, you have a template here as well. So for us, we are just going to use the parts unlimited. Just verify that is the one that we need. So parts unlimited, and now we are ready to create the project. Okay, so over here we have selected the template. Just select the template. So all of that looks good. So now we can hit the create project button, and it says project agile planning and portfolio management with Azure boards being created. So this is going on. Let me make sure my recording going well. Looks like it is. So you just wait here for a second and come back here to see what's going on over here. So that really we are pretty much configuring the lab prerequisites. So here we have learned how to get to Azure DevOps, how to sign in. And another thing I didn't mention in the beginning, so when you go there for the first time, there are various pricing available for the Azure DevOps. You just don't need, for these labs, you don't need any paid subscription. If you just go with the basic free DevOps subscription, that should be enough. So, and you can actually come back over here, Azure DevOps pricing. You can do some reading while it's going on. So you can click on Azure DevOps pricing. So if you see, so Azure pipeline, if you want to use it, you can start free, one free Microsoft hosted CI/CD, one free self-hosted CI/CD. Azure artifact, 2 gigs free. Then if you need more data, you'll be paying $2 per gigs. Basic plan, for 5 users, they're free. You'll get all these services, and then after, if you have more users, then you will start spending $6 per month. And then they also have a basic plus test plan. So for us, really, if you just go with the individual service and then a basic plan, it should be good. All right, let's come back. Okay, I don't need this. Okay, so this one is now done. It says congratulations, your project is successfully provisioned. So you can just click on this one and navigate to project. So let's just do that. So again, so now I have this project that's ready to go, and it has got a whole bunch of items. Like my board is got 158 items. It looks like people have been working on this project. 24 of them got completed, I have 2 different repos, and people, I have 9 authors. They are working really hard and committed 116 comments, okay, already into the project. Let's just go back and see what next. So we are done with the task 1. Okay, we have the project, everything is done. Here on the exercise 1, we're gonna look at manage agile project. In this exercise, you will use the Azure boards that you would be using a lot if you're using the Devops pipeline to perform a number of common agile planning and portfolio management tasks, including management of teams, areas, iterations, work items, sprints, and capacity. And as we talked before, customizing the Kanban boards, defining dashboards, and customizing team processes. So let's start with the task 1, which is manage teams, areas, and iterations. So what we want to do in this particular task, we are going to create a new team and configure its area and iterations. So each new project is configured with a default theme. So you will know that every time you create a project, you will be assigned a default theme which matches the name of the project. You have the option to creating additional themes. That's what we're going to do in this particular lab. Each team can be granted access to a suite of agile tools and team assets. The ability to create multiple themes gives you the flexibility to choose a proper balance and autonomy and collaboration across the enterprise. So this is important. So what we want, verify the web browser display your Azure DevOps organization. So we already did that, so we already went there. So I can close this, and this is our project. Now in this one, they're saying click the go wheel icon, label project setting located in the lower left, okay, and then in the general section, go to the teams tab. So here at the very bottom, you can go to the project setting, and here you can click on the teams button. And if you see, this is the default, and the default team name matches the name of your project. So that's what they said. Whenever you create a new project, there will be one team, the default team, and it will match the name of your project. But here what we want to do, we want to create a new team. Let's see how to do that. So in this new team, we're going to call them PUL web. So let's copy that one, put it in here, and member, I don't have any member besides myself, so I'm just gonna add me. Okay, if you want to put description, you can. Let's see what else they're saying. Okay, we got in the list of teams, select the newly created. Okay, so they're saying not even add any team member at this point. So let's just go back, get rid of it, just saying just hit create. Okay, you can assign, and we'll probably assign some team members, but they're saying you're gonna do that later. So we just created the PUL web. Okay, now they're saying open it up. Okay, I just added to this one. Okay, so in this one, they're saying click iteration and area paths linked at the top of the PUL web page to start defining the schedule and scope. So schedule and scope, so you see here I have a notification, dashboards, and iteration and area path. So that's where you want to go to define our iterations. We're going to go to the iterations, and here we're going to do some work. So at the top boards pane, select iterations, and then click the plus select iterations. All you need to do over here, so click on this one, and we're gonna add few sprints. I think we are gonna add 3 sprints. So sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3. So we're gonna add 3 sprints. So let's create the sprint. So it just took the date 5/1/2021 to 5/22, and that's the sprint 2, and I'm gonna take another sprint. So the way it did the first sprint is the sprint that is ending. That sprint 2 would be kind of the current sprint, and the third one will be the future sprint. So that's what we just did. So come back over here. So we got 3 sprints. Now you go back to the board pane. At the top of the pane, select the areas tab, and you will find there are automatically generated area with the name matching the name of the item. So let's make sure. So come back to our boards and areas tab, and this area, see this area, the default area, that also matches the name of our project slash the team name. So that verification we have done. Now here click on the ellipsis and or the action symbol, and then to the next area, and in the drop down list select include sub areas. So here what they're saying, let me close this one. So in this one you can click on the ellipsis or action area, and you need to hit the include sub areas button. So here now the sub areas are also included within this area. Okay, so here sometimes it's good to read all the notes. It says the default setting for all themes is to exclude sub area path. Okay, that is the default behavior. We will change it to include the sub areas so that the teams gets visibility into all of the work items from all teams. Optionally, the management team could also choose to not include sub areas. Okay, so that's something other teams can do. Now let's move to the next task, which is manage the work items. In this task, you will step through common work item management task. Okay, so work items play a prominent role in this Azure Devops. So if you want to describe your work that needs to be done, if there are any blockers to release your software, if you need to define your test or any other key items, okay, you are going to use work items. Okay, work items are the workhorse of modern projects. So that's how you can figure out, okay, this is the work that needs to be done, and better you are defining a work item, the better you get managing your project. So in this task you will focus on using various work items to set up the plan to expand the parts unlimited site with a product training section. So this is what we want to do. While it can be daunting to build out such a substantial part of a company's offering, Azure DevOps and the Scrum process make it very, very manageable. So what we want to do, from the boards we want to go to the work items, and we want to create a new epic. Okay, so let's come back over here. So we are gonna go back to general boards, and we need to go back to the work items. So let me go back over here, select boards and select work items. So it's what I want to do first. I'm gonna go back over here first to the main page, then I'm gonna go back to the boards. Okay, so here I have these work items in here, and let's see what we need to do. New work item, and then we want to create an epic. Okay, so this is the epic. So click on epic. Let's see if they allow me to click epics. So it says yeah, the title cannot be empty. So epic, so you can create a lot of different types of work items. You can create let's go back and just show you what are the type of work items you can create. So you can create epic, bug, feature, impediment, product, backlog item, task, and test case. Epic is like a really high level goal for your project. Under epic you group features, under features you group the task, things like that. So you will know more about it, but in this task we're gonna create an epic. Okay, and the epic, what is the name? We're gonna call product planning. So that is the end goal of our project. So let's see, Control V. So that is the epic that we're creating. In the upper left corner, select the unassigned entry. Select your user account in order to assign the new work. So if you want to assign this, so this is unassigned, right? So I'm going to click on, there's one user, that's myself. I'm just going to assign this to myself. Next to the area, select the Agile planning and portfolio management with Agile boards. So here the area, it's already selected there, and in the drop down list select Paul Web. So select that one because this is the area that we created where the team Paul Webb can work on, right? So we selected that one, and let's see, this will set the area to that particular path that we created. Next, to the iteration entry, select Agile Planning and select Sprint 2. So which sprint is this work is going to get done? So in the iterations, you're going to click again, and Sprint 2 is what we're going to select. Okay, and next, we don't need to do anything. Click Save to finalize your changes, but do not close it yet. Okay, so at this time we have assigned our area, we have assigned the user, we named our epic, and if you want, you can do more like description, acceptance criteria, you can change your priority, and we can look at more of those stuff. But for this lab, we can save this one. And so now you see that you have an epic number assigned to it. So let's see what else. Again, it's also saying as a note, ordinarily you will want to fill out as much information as possible, but this is sufficient for the purpose of this lab. And there's another note, the work item form includes all of the relevant work item setting. This includes details about who is assigned to. We have already done that. Its status, okay, we have not changed, but its status across many parameters. For how it has been handled since creation. One of the key areas to focus is the related work. We will explore one of the ways to add a feature to this topic. Related work is also like if you may have a dependency on this particular item, you can add those as part of the related work. So in this one, in the related work section, select add link entry and then select new item. So over here, if you look at related work, it's at the bottom, kind of hidden maybe. So click on add link and click on add new item. Okay, so you have a new page that is now open that you can use to fill out some more information. So here in the work item type drop down list, select feature and then type the training dashboard. So this is what we are going to create at the end. So that is the goal that we have. So let's come back over here, and under this particular epic, we want what type of task. It's a feature, and the title is going to be training dashboard. That is what we're gonna create. Okay, and now we can hit OK. Let's make sure. So this is gonna be a child item. Under the epic is gonna type of a feature, and we're gonna click on OK. And again, you can add more stuff in here: description, acceptance criteria, discussion topics, status, in date, target date, details, and all of that, business value, time criticality, and all of that stuff you can do. Give me 1 second. Alright, let's continue. So we have completed our training module. That's a feature, child feature that we added. So let's just go back. So again, hope you're able to do this properly, and then always read the notes. On the training dashboard panel, note that assignment area and iterations are already set to the same values as the epic that the feature is based on. Okay, so let's go back. Area, okay, so if you see, it's a Paul Webb. Iterations, it's sprint 2. So that the main sprint is based on, it's already assigned. On the training dashboard panel, click save and close. So here, now let's just save and close. So we got that. So let's come back here. We're done with this particular step now. In the vertical navigation pane of the Azure Devops, in the list of boards items, select board. So this is a little confusing sometimes. So if you see this vertical, you have a boards at the top. Under board, these are actually child items. In here you have another boards. So I think the intent is they're saying in this board, click on that board. So let's just do that. So if you do that, now it says that I have got team boards. There looks like 2 different team boards. Let's come back over here. On the boards panel, select the Paul Webb boards entry. This will open the board for the particular team. So in these two boards, this was the default board, right? And this is the one that we created. So we're just gonna click on that one. So this is gonna open the board for our new team. On the board panel, in the upper right corner, select the backlog items entry, and in the drop down list, select features. So over here, in the backlog items, click on features, and let's see what happens. And the training dashboard is the feature that we added, if you remember, so that showed up. This will make it easy to add tasks and other work items to the feature. Okay, hover with the mouse pointer over the rectangle representing the training dashboard feature, and here click and add the product backlog item. So here all you need to do is click on here, and you have a whole bunch of things in here. Okay, you just click on the add product backlog item. Okay, so what do you need to add? So this, let's see what happens. In the text box of the new product backlog item, type as a customer I want to view new to tutorial. So that is one of the items that we want to add. So again, click on that, paste it, and hit enter. So that's one product backlog item that is added to this particular feature. And then repeat the previous step to add two more product backlog item, which are called the PBIs. So another one, as a customer I want to see tutorials I recently viewed. Okay, that's a good thing. I would also like to do that. Things that I'm working on are just finished. And as a customer I want to request new tutorials. So Control C, go back here, Control V. So we got 3 product backlog items associated with this particular feature. On the boards panel, in the upper right corner, select features entry, and in the drop down list, select backlog items. So on the boards panel, features entry, now you can create the backlog items. So we added 3, so I would expect them to show up, and you see they showed up, the 3 that we added. So backlog items have a state that defines where they are relative to being completed. While you could open and edit the work item using the form, it is easier to just drag cards on the board. That is true, and we'll see how it works. So on step 19, on the board tab of the Pull Web panel, drag the first work item as a customer I want to view new tutorials from the new to approved stage. So if you look at over here, this is the stage. Okay, so you can click on here as well and change the state, but it's easier to drag things. So here you have new state, approved state, committed state, and done state. So all they're saying is easier to just drag. So just drag and move. So I'm just selecting with my mouse and just dragging to the approved state. Okay, so now you see the state has now changed to approved. I could have done the same thing from here as well. Like click the drop down menu and then select approved, and it will move it over here. Okay, so let's see what's the next. Hover with the mouse pointer over the rectangle presenting the work item you move to the approved stage. It will reveal the down facing caret symbol. So yeah, so over here, so there we go. Then the next is click the down facing caret symbol to expand the work item. Select the unassigned entry. So unassigned entry. So here what you need to do, you need to assign somebody for this task. So I think let's see what is good, and select your user account to assign the task to yourself. So in here, assigned. So this is myself, so I'm assigned for this task now. So we are done with step 21. On 22 on the board, drag the second from new to the committed state. So the next one, it's not only approved, we're just going to move this one to the committed state. So you copy that one and just move it over here. So now it's in a committed state. and on the board drag the third work item to the done state. So the third work item, what we're going to do, we're going to just move it to done state. So this one, I'm going to move it to done state. Okay, and look at the colors. So if it's approved, it's like gray circle. If it's committed, it's a blue circle. If it's done, it's a green circle. So that's pretty cool too, I think. On step 24, on the board tab, at the top of the pane, click view as backlog to display the tabular form. Okay, so let's come back over here. So view as backlog. So if I click on that button, so it should give me a tabular view. Okay, so product backlog. So two of them are still not done. One item we said that it's done. So note, you can use the plus sign directly under the backlog tab label of the Ball web panel to view nested task, and you can use the second plus sign directly left to first backlog item to add a new task to it. So these are things that you will learn as you use more of this particular Azure Devops. Let's go to the next item. On the backlog tab of the Ball web pane, in the upper left corner of the pane, click the second plus sign from the top. In the upper left corner, this is hard to figure out which next plus a button. So here is one, here is one, here is one. So let's see which one they're talking about. On the backlog tab, in the upper left corner of the pane, click the second plus sign from the top, the one next to the first work item. Okay, so this is the first work item. Let's click on that one. Okay, so it looks like now we are going to add some task. Okay, so let's see, this will display a new task. Okay, so we did that right. At the top of the task pane, in the enter title drop text box, type add page for the most recent tutorials. So let's just do that. So again, here's the name of the task. Let's see if I have to assign this task to anyone. On the new task pane, in the remaining work, type 5. So here you are really assigning the number of hours. Okay, the 5 hours remaining in this task. On the new task pane, in the activity drop down list, select development. So what kind of task it is? What is my activity? It's a development task that we're gonna do. So select development, and on the new task pane, click save and close. So we're gonna do save and close. So now you see the product backlog. This is the feature item. Here I have a task inside it. To repeat the last 5 steps, to add another task named optimize data query for the most recent tutorials. Okay, set it to remaining work to 3 and its activity to design, and click save and close. Okay, so they're saying add another task and optimize data query for the recent tutorials. So that one seems like it should be part of the next. I want to view new tutorial. Here is a customer I want to view new tutorial. So it should be part of this product backlog. So let's just create that. Okay, so optimize data query for recent tutorials, and here remaining task 3 hours, and activity is design. Okay, so this is what they have asked us to do. Make sure. Okay, so we are done. So hit and close. So now we have another task. Alright, so we're done with this task. So in this section, okay, we looked at mainly the boards, how to create an epic, then how to create feature, how to set the teams and add the different sprints, and then we looked at the related work items. Then we looked at more features about the backlog items and how to add features and tasks. Okay, so next section what is we're going to learn is to manage sprint and capacity. So let's just review this one real quick. So capacity is the hours that one has available for one particular team for the project for a week. Say the sprints are typically divided into 2 weeks, and say you have two people team, small team, and but you are working on multiple projects. So this project maybe you can devote 20 hours a week. So one person 2 weeks sprint means 40 hours. So 2% 2 weeks sprint means 40 plus 40, 80 hours. So each of you will go and you configure the capacity, and then based on your capacity you will see, okay, which task can be done, which stories can be finished with your current allocation of time. Okay, so teams build the sprint backlog during the sprint planning meeting, okay, typically held on first day of the sprint. Each sprint corresponds to a time boxed interval which supports the team's ability to work using agile processes and tools. During this planning meeting, the product owner works with the team to identify those stories or backlog items to complete in the sprint. Planning meetings typically consist of two parts. In the first part, the team and the product owner identify the backlog items that the team feels it can commit to completing in the sprint based on experience with previous sprints. These items get added to the sprint backlog. In the second part, the team determines how it will develop and test each team. They then define and estimate the tasks required to complete each item. Finally, the team commits to implementing some or all of the items based on these estimates. So the sprint backlog should contain all the information that the team needs to successfully plan and complete work within the time allotted without having to rush to the end. Before planning the sprint, you would want to have created, prioritized, and estimated the backlog and defined the sprint. So this is, easy to read and write, but it's kind of difficult a lot of times to figure out the exact nature of the work. If you create a story and it's really broad, okay, and you're thinking, okay, maybe it's going to take me a month, that's probably a really broad story, and you probably need to break it out into smaller part. The smaller stories that you have are better, which okay, this is the small portion of a larger feature maybe, and I can complete this in 2 days, 3 days, is better than, I'm going to complete in 2 weeks. So I always feel like a smaller story, multiple smaller stories are better than a large story, because your risks are less. With the smaller stories you can track the progress better. You can mark your smaller one, okay, these are the ones that are done. If you have everything as part of one big story, you cannot mark the whole story as done. So you get used to it and get better as you go. So let's see what we need to do in this section. In the vertical navigation pane of the Azure Devops portal, select boards, and in the list of board items, select sprints. So let's just come back over here again. We are top boards, and then we work with these boards, and we also look at the backlogs. Now we are gonna click on the sprint. Excuse me. So we are in the sprint view now. Let's see, sprints. On the taskboard tab of the sprints view, in the toolbar on the right hand side, select view option symbol. In the view option drop down list, select work details entries. So over here they are saying go to first on the taskboard tab. Let's just first go to the taskboard tab, make sure that we are there, and there select the view options. Select our view options. I don't see any view options in here, do you? Make sure that we are in the sprint view. What did we do? Let's go back to boards. Let's go back. to sprint, make sure that it's task board, and I don't see a view option in here. So all I have right now are task, backlog, capacity, analytics, then new work items, and that's about it. So let's see, come back over here one more time. Here say view option directly to the left of the funnel icon, and in the view option drop down list select work details entry. So most likely I'm wondering if anything is missing in here. I still don't see it here. Let's see over here, work details. So this is the one that they're trying to say. Okay, so you want to enable the view. So you take your mouse over here, and this is the view options that you have. Okay, so that's a little tricky. So you click on that one, and all I did is enabled the work details in this particular view. So here it says the team, and then work by activity. So you have 8 total hours of work that is assigned, 3 hours for design and 5 hours for development. And right now nobody is assigned to these tasks. Okay, so we got that. In the rectangle representing add page for most recent tutorial, click the unassign and assign yourself. So which one? Add page for the most recent tutorial. Add page for the most recent tutorial. So I can click on that one, assign the task to myself. So that's done. And select the capacity tab of the sprints view. So over here is the capacity tab. So here we are going to estimate our hours, and here on the capacity tab, in the unassigned drop down, select development, and in the capacity per day type box, type 1. So here development, what kind of activity are you going to do is the development, and capacity per day is 1 hour. I can devote 1 hour per day. So again, read the note. They represents 1 hour of development work per day. Note that you can add additional activities per user in the case they do more than just development. On the capacity tab of the sprints view, directly next to the entry representing your user account, in the days off column, click 0 days entry. Okay, in the capacity view, on the capacity view of the sprints view, directly next to entry representing your user account. I don't have a days off. I do. I have 0 days. So you just click on that one and click on the 0 days. So if you want to take any days off, you're going for a vacation, you can add some days in there. So this will display panel where you can set your days off. In the display panel, use the calendar view to set your vacation to span 5 work days during the current spring within the next 3 weeks, and once completed, click OK. So 5 days we want. So let's just copy from here to there. So those are my 5 days that I'll be off. Okay, so now days off is 5. And then I can click on save somewhere. Where is my save button? Save. So that has saved my capacity for this particular sprint. So I'll have 5 days off. For the development, I'll have 1 hour capacity per day to devote to this particular project. So we're done with that. Back on the capacity tab, so on the sprints view, we have done that. Select the task board tab of the sprints view. So come back over here, go back to the task board. Okay, So now see, you have some nice graphical view that's available. 8 hours of work, okay, 5 hours now it's assigned to this work is assigned to myself, the other work is still unassigned, but everything looks green, so we have time to finish all of the work during our sprint. So here note the work details panel has been updated to reflect your available bandwidth. The actual number of displayed in the work details pane might vary, but your total sprint capacity will be equal to the number of working days remaining till the end of the sprint. And one convenient feature of the board is that you can easily update the key data in line. It's a good practice to regularly update the remaining work estimate to reflect the amount of time expected for each task. Let's say you have reviewed the work for the add page for the most recent tutorial task and found that it will actually take longer than originally expected. So you now, maybe you said 8 hours, now it is going to take 10 hours, 12 hours. So you can always update that. On the taskboard tab of the sprints view, in the rectangle representing the add page for the most recent tutorial, set the estimated number of hours to match your total capacity for the sprint, which you have identified in the previous step. Okay, so add page for the most recent tutorial, add page for the most recent tutorial. So here my total capacity, so we can add it equal to the number of my available capacity. So let's see what it is. This automatically expands the development and your personal capacities to the maximum. Since they are large enough to cover the assigned task, they stay green. However, the overall team capacity is exceeded due to the additional 3 hours required by the optimized data query for the most recent tutorial task. So here what we can do, should we make that 8? So that's what I'm thinking. Let me think this for a minute, what they really want us to do here. Okay, so I think what the lab wants us to do, so there are 2 tasks that we're trying to plan for, and based on my availability, they're saying, okay, there are a total of 10 hours that we need for the whole sprint. And once I reviewed this task, instead of 5 hours, I decided, okay, this is actually going to take a total of 10 hours. Let's see. So what it did this, the team, because as a team we don't have 3 more hours, so we only have 10 hours, but now we are trying to assign tasks that will take 13 hours. So this team work has become a problematic, so this become red. So my work, that is the development work that is assigned to myself, is still green because I still have 10 hours available to me, so I can still finish this work. But as a team we don't have 3 more hours. So now you have to move this task to some other sprint so that you can keep everything as green. So let's see, let's move to the next one. So we are done kind of with this particular step. Okay, and let's see which one is the next one. On the task board tab of the sprint view in the toolbar, on the right hand side, select the view option symbol, and in the view option symbol drop down list, select the people entry. So again, let's come back over here. Instead of backlog item, let's see the people entry. Let's see what happens. Okay, so there are 2 people, one is unassigned, another is myself. So here it looks good, here it's unassigned. Let's see what else do we need to do. This adjusts your view so that you can review the progress of task by persons instead of the backlog item. There is also a lot of customization available. Okay, make sure that I actually did all of that. So we have done, so we did our days off, we did the sprints view, and we updated our sprint hours for a particular tab. Then add page for the most recent tutorial, so the estimated number of hours to match the total capacity of the sprint, we have done that. And people entry, we have done that as well. Okay, let's go to step 13. Click the configure teams setting cogwheel icon directly to the right of the funnel icon. Configure teams setting. So let's see, configure team setting. So this is again kind of hidden, so this is the icon they're talking about. Click on that one, and on the setting panel select the styles tab, click styling rule. Okay, style tab, styling rule, and on the rule name box type development, and the card color select green. So this is kind of okay, so just call it rule name. I think I just have to type development, maybe type development, yeah. So control C, what did I do, control C, okay, development, and I want to color this one. Where do I do the color? Development, let me look at one more time, development, and in the card color drop down list select green. I don't see a card color drop down list. Interesting. I'm gonna close this one. I'm gonna do it one more time. So here work, styling rule, expand this one, development, I still don't see anything, so I just try to click and save. Error prevented the saving. Please review the error message. So let's review the error message. Okay. So here I probably had to do something in the field card color. Is there a color or something in here? Let's see, color. Sorry, I haven't used this feature yet, so give me 1 second. Okay, so I figured that one out. So you can go back to configure team setting, go to styles, click on styles, do your development. At this stage you gotta click on tab. Okay, if you hit tab it gives you the styling options, so that's weird. That other way it just didn't give me these options. So in here in color I'm just gonna click on green. So that was the ask in the task, and what we'll do, we'll save and close. It still didn't let, so there's still some more criteria that we need to finish up. Let's see, what else do we need to do? Okay, in the rule criteria, in the field drop down, select the activity. In the operator, select equal to. So here we gotta choose activity equals, and value is development. Okay, that is what we are doing. Okay, so now we understand how what this is trying to do. So any development task based on this rule will show up as green. Okay, so now we should be able to save and close, and there we go. So you see, so this card which had no color associated with it, now this card got a green color. That means we can quickly tell, okay, this task is a development task. Okay, the next, on the setting panel, select the backlog tab and select the working tab. It just says, telling you just to look at some stuff, so just select the backlog and you see backlog navigation, epic is not there, so you can enable epic if you like. Epic features and backlogs, all of that you can view if you like. And entries on the tab allow you to set the levels available for navigation. Epics are not included by default, but you could change, so we just did that, right? On the settings panel, select the working days tab. On the settings panel, select the working days tab. So again, so if you don't work, say Fridays, so you are a contractor, you only work for maybe 3 days, you can also do that. The way you can configure your working days as well. Or if you're working 7 days a week, you have a team, okay, so you can add Saturday and Sunday. So we looked at that one. And working with the bugs, let's see, I don't know if we have any. Working with bugs, so here the bugs, you have 3 different options, looks like. And entries on this tab allow you to specify how bugs are presented on the board. So there are 3 ways bugs are managed: with requirements, bugs are managed with task, or bugs are not managed on backlog items. Okay, so currently the bugs are managed with requirements. On the settings panel, click save and close to save your styling rule. Okay, so we have already done that, so that's it. So we got all of that configured. So we have kind of finished this particular section of this lab. So here we went over and really looked at the sprint planning, assigning tasks to yourself, assigning time off for ourselves, and coloring the different tasks or different type of tasks. Look at how to set rules. And in the next section, let's work on customizing the Kanban board. So we gotta customize the Kanban board, and Kanban board is the process where a lot of people, they use like a sticky pad with different colors, and they move like this. These are the items that I'm working on, these are the items that I have not started, and this is the item that's got finished. Okay, and the same idea now has come to our software world, and we can customize our boards. So if you read this section, to maximize the team's ability to consistently deliver high quality software, Kanban optimizes 2 main practices. The first, visualizing the flow of work. It requires that you map your team's workflow stages and configure Kanban board to match. Okay. The second, constraining the amount of work in progress requires that you set work in progress limits. Okay, so 2 things. You are then ready to track progress on your Kanban board and monitor key metrics to reduce lead or cycle time. So let's just come over here and get started. In the vertical navigation pane of the list of the board items, select boards. Again, this is a little confusing, as I mentioned before. So you come, there is a board. Under this main board, you have that board. You're gonna click on that one to get started. Okay, so this is, we have been there before. We have 1 task that is approved state, 1 committed, and 1 done state. Okay, now we're gonna click on configure team setting. Okay, configure team setting. Let's see, configure team setting again. Okay, on the settings panel, select tag colors, type data, and leave the default color in place. Okay, tag color, let's see, let's go back one more time. Setting, select tag colors, setting, select, okay, tag colors. Okay, tag color, click that one. I think they're just asking us to keep everything, not to change anything, and type data. So I'm just gonna type data and leave the default color in place. Okay, on the settings panel, select the annotations tab. So annotations tab, let's see, You can specify which annotations you would like included on the cards to make them easier to read and navigate. Okay, so task we have added, GitHub we have added, tests we have added. On the settings panel, select the tests tab. So come back over here, tests tab. So here you can also configure the tests, manual tests, test plans. A manual test configure test outcomes setting. The test tab enables you to configure how tests appear and behave on the cards. On the settings panel, click save and close to save the styling rule. So just there you go. So we have now saved the styling rule. Over here on the board tab of Pol Web panel, right click the rectangle representing. As a customer, I want to view new tutorials, backlog items, and select open. Right, and open. So that gives us the detailed view. So let's see what we want to do. On as a customer, I want to view new tutorials panel. Make sure, yeah, so that's the right backlog. At the top of the panel, to the right of the 0 comments entry, click add tag. So at the top of the panel, at the 0 comments entry, click add tag. So now we're gonna add some tags. What tag do you want to add? We're gonna tag it as data. So it should be highlighted because you already created some kind of coloring scheme for that one, right? Repeat the previous step to add the UX tag. So here let's add another tag, call it UX. And as a customer, I want to view new tutorials. Click save and close. So now we are done. So save and close. Okay, the two tags are now visible on the card with the data tag highlighted in yellow as configured. I didn't see that. I see the data is not highlighted. So let's just go there. Actually it is. So I had to refresh my Azure board. When we just added, it was not highlighted, but now since we have a rule for the tags to be highlighted, now it's highlighted. That's pretty cool. So we are done up to this particular step. On the boards panel, click the configure team setting. On the settings panels, select the columns tab. So this time we'll go over here and go to the columns tab. Let's see what we need. Drag and drop the newly created tab between hold on, columns tab. Here we're going to add a new column, and the name of the new column would be QA approved, and in the WIP limit text box type 1. So name is QA approved, WIP limit type 1. Make sure column name is QA approved and the WIP limit is 1. So the work in progress limit of 1 indicates that only one work item should be in this stage at a time. You could ordinarily set this higher, but there are only 2 work items to demonstrate the feature. On the settings panel, on the columns tab, drag and drop the newly created tab between committed and done. Okay, so here this one we want to move between committed and done. Let me see if I can drag. Okay. I need to move this one, buddy. Right, so looks like I'm having trouble moving this one. So what I'll do, I'll first save and close. It says it's not valid, so let's just come back over here. QA approved. Okay, let me redo this section for just a second. Alright, so what I really want to do is come over here, go to the column one more time. So we're just gonna go back to columns, and in here they really wanted to create a new column. Okay, and the column name is QA approved, so this is what they wanted us to do. And in this one, just the QA approved 0, maybe 0, because I already created one by mistake in the last one. And here WIP limit, they ask us to set to 1, and then they want us to move this between drag and between committed and done. Between committed and done is what they want us to do. So from here again, if you're adding a new column, you will be adding new columns like this, but in real world I have not seen too many times to add people, different columns. But if you want, this is how you are going to add. And let's see over here, state mapping to they haven't said anything about the state mapping. Let's see. Yeah, so that's all you can do. So if you want to add new columns, so this is the process that you want to do. Okay, and then you can just again save and close, and that's about it. So, and if you want to move those different columns from one place to another, so you can go over here. Pretty much you can move right or move left. You can go the first one, you can only move right, but say you want to start with approved, so move left, approve, move left, approve, move right. Okay, so this is the one, this is the process. So this QA approved, the section is now between the approved and the committed section that's they wanted, right? Between committed and done. So if you want to move committed and done this, so you just click on that one, say move right. So now the QA approved is between the committed and then you have the done. So that's we have accomplished. So come back over here on the settings tab, click save and close. That's good. And then drag the as a customer I want to see tutorials recently worked from the committed stage to the QA approved stage. So over here, so committed stage, so I can move this over here, so the QA approved stage. And drag as a customer I want to view new tutorials work item from the done stage to the QA approved stage as well. So this one done, I can also bring it back to the QA approved stage. Okay, and as a customer I want to see tutorials I recently viewed backlog item to committed stage. Committed stage. On the boards panel, click on the configure team setting, and on the settings panel return to the columns tab and select QA approved tab. So first we gotta go back to configure team settings again. So over here, team settings, and go back to our columns tab and select the QA approved tag and enable the split columns into doing and done. So split columns into doing and done. Okay, the checkbox to create two separate columns. On the QA approved tab, the bottom of the panel, in the definition of done, type passes all tests. So definition of done is passes all tests. On the settings panel, click save and close. Save and close. Okay. So QA approved is now a doing and done. Okay, you see that now QA approved, doing and done. And when everything, all the test cases are passing, this story will be considered as completely done. So we're done up to this point. On the boards panel, click configure team setting, and swim lanes tab is what we want to click. So let's see if we have the tab available. Here at the swim lanes, and here I have a default lane right now, and we gotta create a new swim lane, and we're gonna call expedite. Okay, call it expedite and save and close. Okay, so again under this swim lane got created, that says expedite. And what we need to do, on the boards tab on the boards plan, drag and drop the committed work item onto the QA approved doing stage of the expedite swim lane, so that it gets recognized as having priority when QA bandwidth becomes available. So the committed work, where is the committed work? Here's the committed work. Can I bring it over here? Okay, so over here this the expedited section. I don't know if you can move it over here. You can. So it's you're gonna put it over here, which is the expedited, and QA approved doing stage. So move not only there, but move QA approved the doing stage. So this work was done. Now we need the approval and get this done. This is the expedited work. Okay, then we can hit save and close. I don't need to hit save and close in here. On the settings panel, so we have already done that. So we have already done that as well. So this is kind of how you can create an expedited area and then move your task, so people know that this is the work that needs higher priority. And the final one, customize team process. In this task, we will create a custom Scrum based process. The process will include a backlog item field designed to track to a proprietary parts unlimited ticket ID. Let's see, this task is also pretty long, so let's get started. Okay, let's continue with the task. In the customized team process, what we need to do in this task, we're going to create a custom Scrum based process. This process will include a backlog item field designed to track to a proprietary parts unlimited ticket ID. Okay, in the Azure Devops, you customize your work tracking experience through a process. A process defines the building block of the work item tracking system, as well as other subsystems you access through Azure Devops. Whether you create a team project, you select the process which contains the building blocks you want for your project. Azure Devops supports two process types. The first, the core system processes, which are the Scrum, Agile and CMMI. They're read-only, so you cannot customize them. The second one, second type is the inherited process. You can create based on core system processes with the options of customizing their settings. All processes are shared within the same organization. That is, one or more team projects can reference a single process. Instead of customizing a single team project, you customize a process. Changes made to the process automatically update all team projects that references the process. That is useful. Once you have created an inherited process, you can customize it, create team projects based on it, and migrate existing team projects to reference it. The Git team project can be customized until it's migrated to an inherited project. So let's get started with this particular work. So on the Azure Devops, click on the Azure Devops logo at the top left corner, and on the left bottom corner of the page, click on organizational setting. So Azure Devops, and at the bottom of the page, click on the organizational setting. In that setting, in the boards, select process. Okay, over here in the section general security report boards, click on the process. Okay, so it's loading the process at the moment. So you have the basic Agile, Scrum, CMMI. Basic is the default, and you have 3 other options. Okay, on the all processes pane in the right of the Scrum entry, select the ellipsis, and in the drop down menu select create inherited process. So over here we gotta do create inherited process. Okay, so let's just click on this one, but this is going to create inherited process under basic. We make sure that's what we wanted. Okay, so we wanted to inherit it under Scrum, so that's not the right entry. So click, so Scrum here, create inherited process. Okay, the process name, we are gonna click on customize Scrum and then create process. Okay, create process. So that should give me a customized Scrum process. Back on all process, click on the customize Scrum entries. So just click on that one. So now you have a whole bunch of stuff in there that is inherited from a Scrum process, and you can add more if you like. Now on the all process customize Scrum pane, select the product backlog item. So product backlog, all processes customize Scrum product backlog. So let's see what we need to do. Click a new field. We want to add a new field here. And what is the new field that we want? Pull ticket ID, that is what we want. So click on that one, click on this. Then on the add field to the product backlog item panel, click layout. And what do we need to do with the layout? Just type ticket ID. On the label text box, ticket ID. So definition, create a new field. We went to layout and we changed that label to ticket ID. Select the create a new group option. In the group text box, type parts unlimited. So now is groups, create a new group, and parts unlimited. So we are adding a new definition, we went to layout, we changed the label, and we are creating a new group. 3 things we are doing. And now we can click on add field. So this new particular field now is added to our product backlog item. Return to all processes. On the all processes pane, select the Scrum entry. So go back, select the Scrum entry. On the all process Scrum pane, select the projects tab. So here, go to the project tab. Okay, so we are there. In the list of projects in a row containing Agile planning and portfolio management with Azure Core Center, select the ellipsis and then select change process. So here, this is only one project that we have. Just click on it, change process, and I guess we're just gonna go to customize Scrum and select it. Okay, that's about it. So target process, customize Scrum, close. So we have done that. Now click on the Azure Devops logo at the top left corner again. So top left corner. Now on the projects tab, select the entry representing that board. Projects, under project tabs, select this. Okay, select boards and ensure the work items pane is displayed. Select boards and the work item pane is now displayed. So everything looks good. In the list of work items, click the first backlog item. In the list of work item, click the first backlog item. Verify that now you have a ticket ID field under the parts unlimited group. Okay, so let's try this one. Add page for the most recent. And what I'm looking for is the ticket ID. And the ticket ID would be right here over here, parts unlimited ticket ID. So all I needed to do is select the first item in here, and the ticket ID showed up right under here, parts unlimited and ticket ID. Okay, next what do we need to do? Once the work item is saved, the Azure Devops will also save a new custom information so that it will be available for queries and through the rest of the Azure Devops. So that's pretty much it, and there is a optional section for this lab as well that you can do to define the dashboard. And here you will step through the process of creating dashboards and their core components. Dashboards allow teams to visualize status and monitor progress across the project. At a glance, you can make informed decisions without having to drill down to other parts of your dream project site. The overview page provides access to a default team dashboard, which you can customize by adding, removing, or rearranging the tiles. So if you want to do that, in the vertical navigation plane of the Azure DevOps, select the overview icon, and the list of overview icons, select the dashboards. So overview icons, and then list of selected icons. Let's see if we have dashboards. Dashboards. So let's just go there. Over here, if this is the dashboards pane on the upper left corner, select Agile Planning Management Boards Team Overview and review the existing dashboards. So you can select that one, and that one is going to give you the existing dashboard. So this is the kind of a dashboard, and this one has a welcome pane, work assigned, critical bugs, work in progress, user stories assigned to, okay, and then user stories in state, how many new, committed, approved, done, some backlogs, and agile planning portfolio if you want to invite friend, which sprint you are, burn down chart, all of that stuff. On the dashboard pane in the upper left corner, in the agile planning portfolio management with Azure board team section, create a new dashboard. So let's see, where can we create a new dashboard? Let's go back to dashboards. Under this, I want to create a new dashboard. Let's see, new dashboard, name product training. In the teams drop down list, select Paul Web. So product training, and here we want to assign to this particular team, and I think just hit create. Yeah, hit create. So that will create a new dashboard for you. Let's just wait for a second. Just now creating the dashboard, I would expect that will show up under here like overview, and then the new one that we are just creating. So this is the new dashboard just that's got created. It's currently it's empty. So if you go back to the dashboard view under Paul Web, so this is the new one that we just added, product training, and if you just click on that, this is the view we went just a minute back. So now you can add different type of widgets. So widget, and then we're gonna add sprint to this view first. So add a widget, and then sprint. Okay, what kind of sprint do you want? Burn down, burn up, sprint burn down, sprint burn down, legacy. So let's see which one they're asking, and select sprint overview and click add. So sprint overview, and then add. So we got the sprint overviews. 5 days remaining, 5 work items not started. In the rectangle representing newly added widget, click the settings and then configuration pane. Okay, on the configuration pane, click close without making any changes. So we are just asking you to review the configuration. So Paul Web counter work items, and then good to just close it. And back on the add widget plan, search again, search for sprint, and then do a sprint capacity. So sprint capacity add. Okay, so it's red because we know that we added more hours than what we said that are available within the team members. Okay, in the dashboard view, you just say done editing. So done editing. So this is my dashboard right now. Simple dashboard. One got our sprint overview, and another the backlog items. Now in the vertical navigation pane, select the boards, and the list of board items, select queries. In the boards and queries. Okay, let's go there. And let's see what queries we're gonna build. We're gonna build a new query, and let's just start with a new query, and let's see what we need to do. My queries pane, in the value drop down list of the work items, select task. Value drop down, I need to select task. Okay, so work item type equal to task, so we want to do something. Task, on the editor, queries, my queries, on the field column, select area path. In the field column, select area path equals to task. Okay, so first we select the task, then area path, and corresponding value just select agile planning and portfolio man. Oh no, I think I did wrong. So what do I do? Revert changes. Okay, let's just revert changes. Work type, here again select the task, and here we are doing in the next one, I think what they're trying to say in the next one, area path, and corresponding value is this. So this is now the next one is the area path. So go back up, find area path, and here Paul Web. Okay, so this is what they wanted to do, and then we just need to save this query. So save query, and we need a name for this query type, web tasks. Okay, so web tasks, and select to shared query. So yeah, this is another important. If you don't put it on the shared queries, this query will not available to everyone. Okay, and then select the charts tab and create a new chart. So it's just done with the query, and charts, and a new chart. Let's see what we need. On the configure chart panel, in the name text bar, type web task by assignment. That's a name tab web task by assignment, and in the group by select assign to, and the group by select assign to, and there we go. So now you have a really nice chart that you can use. So what it is, a web task. In this task we have two tasks, but there's only one assigned. One, there's an unassigned task, and you should assign to someone. So so this is the way that you use the queries, and you can come up with your really nice charts to kind of get insights about how the different things are done within your sprint. Okay, and so let's review what we have done. It's in this lab we used Azure boards to perform a number of common agile planning and portfolio management tasks, including management of teams, areas, iterations, work items, sprints, and capacity, customizing the Kanban boards, defining dashboards, and customize team processes. So I'm pretty sure, if you do this just one time, you will not be the master of it. You have to use it like on a daily basis. So just start using this Devops pipeline in your daily work. At least for the exam, use it for for a while, just to get a hang of it, and do things not just for the lab but on your daily routine, and just be comfortable. And more you use it, there are lots of features that you're going to learn. One lab is not going to teach all about Azure DevOps and how you can really use it to be more efficient with your projects and sprints. So I definitely encourage you all to start using it and come back to the lab, review it, do it a couple times, and be completely comfortable. Well, thank you for watching this lab. And if you have any comments I would like to hear, please leave your comments. Thank you and good luck.